Hello, good morning. It's actually 12:15 and I feel like I have done so little today. I got up early, I got up at 8 and I put on a laundry around 8:30 and it's just finished. I've just taken everything out of the dryer. So I'm gonna start packing and like properly putting things away. And I did like an hour's work. And I did spend another like hour trying to sort something out for when I leave. So I suppose that's how the day's gone, but it's been a lot of waiting, I think, for things. And then I also have edited a YouTube video, which like is productive, but wasn't on a list of things to do today. And so it doesn't feel like it was necessary. So yeah, I feel like I've wasted a lot of today. But equally, I've ticked loads of things off my list. So I don't know. As I say, it's now 12:15. So my plan is to pack what I can, and then I'm going to go to the shops to buy some snacks for tomorrow on the plane, because I do still have some of the snacks I came with, but not many. I ate a lot, so I want to make sure I'm stocked up. And then my friend's coming at 3, so I've got 2.5 hours, and that should be fine. But I feel like I'm getting nervous about it, and I shouldn't. And like, even if she comes and she meets me at the shops instead, that's fine. Even though I'm sure that won't happen, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, and I just feel like I need to clear a lot. But I did wake up this morning and like it really hit me. I was like, oh, this is my last full day here, which is just crazy. So not feeling great about that. But we're gonna get on with this. I don't think I'm gonna film stuff because I feel like I just need to crack on with it and not have things to worry about. But I'll try and speak to you before I head to the shops. I also need to get dressed, obviously. But I'm like trying to figure out what to wear that I can wear that's not gonna cause problems in terms of like my packing. But I do have clothes that I'm leaving here, so I can just wear those and then put them in the laundry together with this like, what's this called? Dressing gown and my pajamas and my bedding and everything. Right, I'm gonna get on with it. I'll speak to you later. Bye. Hello. I'm back home. I went out literally bang on 1 o'clock, which I didn't realise, but it was my aim. I was telling myself I need to get out by 1 because I got really stuck in my head, and I just couldn't get dressed, to be honest. I just could not figure out what the best way would be for me to avoid wearing clothes. But I told myself by 1 o'clock I want to be out, and I checked my watch when I left the house. It was 12:59, so we made it. And it was actually much warmer outside than I was expecting. It was quite grey, but when I went out it was fairly warm, and then as I was walking the sun came out, which was very warm, but we're okay. I first went to a bakery to get some rolls for tomorrow, and they didn't have the ones I wanted, and the lady at the till was I wouldn't say rude, but not very friendly, and it didn't put me in the best spirits, but it's okay, I got something else, and that will hopefully help me on the plane. And then I walked to the other supermarket, to the supermarket, and I got everything I needed plus a bit more. I'd messaged just before I went if anyone needed anything urgently or semi-urgently to let me know, and so there were 2 extra things I had to pick up. And I went to the Woolworths, and Woolworths has a deal where when you spend over $30, you can get a free drink. So I got a free drink, which was nice, very nice. And I only got to that threshold for 2 reasons. Number 1, because my family needed those extra couple of things. And number 2, because I was going to buy 3 Sour Patch Kids, 1 for the plane and 2 for me to take home. But then there was an offer on 2 for $7 instead of 1 for $5, which just felt like a really good deal. And it felt silly to be paying $5 for the third, knowing that if I got a 4th, it would be cheaper. Well, not cheaper, but you'd save more. So I figured I'd get a 4th packet for the family here, just to like snack on at home. So I ended up getting over the $30 threshold, which is great. Although also mad, like a handful of snacks and some eggs and a hummus dip should not cost over $30. Although that's only £15, so maybe it's okay. It still feels like a lot though. Anyway, now that I'm back, I've had some lunch. It's just gone 2, which means I have, by now I think about 45 minutes until my friend comes. So I'm going to try and properly finish packing. I was holding off because I knew I'd probably buy some Sour Patch Kids and maybe other snacks to take back. But it is only going to be the Sour Patch Kids. And I want to fit that into the suitcase alongside my clothes and the pairs of shoes that I haven't packed yet. And then all the things that'll be left, I think, will be any laundry. And there's a couple of things that couldn't go in the dryer. There's 3 items of clothing, so they'll probably only go in either tonight or tomorrow morning in the suitcase. But I think that's it. And I'll be glad to have it sorted. And then I need to make a list. I really want to make a list of my last minute things that I need to remember, because again, they feel a bit scattered, and I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'd rather just have it in place. And I think it's realistic for me to be able to do that in 45 minutes. And then my friend's here. And then after that, we're going to my brother's. So I'm going to leave it here. And unless I have anything more important to share, I will go, and I'll see you tomorrow. Wah! Okay, this is my hand luggage, which definitely still needs working on, and I'm not sure we're going to fit it all in, but we'll make it work. And then this is my case, which I am actually quite pleased with, and I just have those couple of last minute laundry things, but I think this will close quite nicely, and I'm sure it's going to be within the weight limit. Yay! Hi, it was actually 2 by the time I finished talking to you, so I only had half an hour, but it's now 2:45, it's been 20 minutes, and I feel very good. I've got everything sorted. I've made a list of very long list of everything I need to bring with me tomorrow. The only thing I've realised, and I'm glad I've realised this now, is I haven't got a clue where my passports are, and obviously that's not ideal. So I feel like I've looked everywhere in this room where I thought they could be, so I don't really know what to do about that. It's far from ideal. I might send a message into the family chat, but I don't think I've left it anywhere obvious. I think I would have hidden it while I was here. Unfortunately, I've just hidden it a little bit too well. So I'm going to go on the hunt for them for the next 15 minutes until my friend is here. And then I guess I'll have to look again later this evening. But fingers crossed I find those, because otherwise I'm not getting out of the country. Yeah, fun. Okay, crisis averted. It's been 2 minutes and I found them. They were in an obvious place where I had looked, but I just hadn't looked hard enough. So I'm glad I found them, very glad I found them, and I'm going to leave them somewhere a little bit more obvious for the, overnight, so that I don't have a panic in the morning. Very relieved about that, and now I've still got 15 minutes to kill. Great. I do need to check in as well. I thought I already had, but I want to just double check. But I don't know. I probably do have time in the next 15 minutes, but by the time I get my computer and everything up, maybe I should just do it. Maybe I should just do it. At least try. Let's go for it. Hello. So I tried to check in before my friend came. I did have time, but every time I clicked, I put in my details and then clicked enter, it would just I don't know, it would just freeze essentially. So I tried a couple of times and then gave up, and I'll just check in at the airport tomorrow. I am going to be a bit brave. I'm only going to get there 2.5 hours before my flight, not 3. And that's scary because it's a big flight. But my parents said it should be okay, so hopefully it will. But my friend came and then she said, what would you like to do? And she suggested the beach. And there was a chance of rain. There was about a 40% chance of rain, but it looked sunny. So we said, let's just go and see what happens. And it ended up being really lovely weather. Perfect, actually, I would say. And we walked for ages. I think we walked about 40 minutes. So it was really lovely. Really enjoyed being at the beach one last time. And now I've got a bit of time before we're going to my brother's, so I think I'm just going to watch some YouTube. I feel very in control of this room, which is good, and all my packing and everything. So hopefully it will all be okay. I think especially worried about the last minute things, but that's going to be tomorrow, and I've written a list, so I think chances are small that I'll forget anything, but there is a chance. I'm not ready to go, but it's okay. Once I'm home, once I'm back in London, I'll be fine. I've got quite a few exciting things planned, so it will be okay. It's just this bridging bit, that is not great for me, but we're gonna be okay. We've still got tonight to enjoy, and then, I don't know, I have a feeling I'm not gonna sleep very well tonight, but we'll see. If that's the case, that's okay, because I can sleep on the plane, and I should sleep on the plane because it'll be midnight in the UK, I think, by the time we actually depart. Anyway, we'll deal with tomorrow when tomorrow comes. For now, I'm going to leave it here. Bye! It's been a lovely last night, but it's hard. I hate saying goodbye. I hate it. It's about 11:30, I think. Yeah, just before. I'm going to get changed. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to try and distract myself on my phone for a little bit, or listen to a podcast. Definitely listen to a podcast and try to get some sleep. I think I'm planning on leaving here. No, I'm planning on getting up around 6:15ish, and that should probably give me more than enough time, but it just means that I'm not stressed. Also, I believe a few of us will try and shower in the morning, so it just means we have the time for that. And then it's time. I can't believe I'm going back. the leaving bit is hard, and like obviously I'm registering it, but also like it's crazy to me. But also like this time at least I can visualize going back. When I was coming here, I couldn't visualize the time at all. And there's some very exciting plans. I've said this already for when I get back. But I can't believe like, because the day I arrive I'm going to work and I can't quite envision that fully yet. Because also from the airport to getting home is always such a trek. Plus there's the very long time on the plane. But we're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. And I'll take you along with me tomorrow. Good morning. I woke up about 5 minutes before my alarm, which was great. And I woke up quite easily, which was also great. Like I don't feel too tired. And then it's now about 15 minutes later. I have showered, I've changed, I've taken off the bedding. So now I'm gonna head downstairs, have some breakfast. Then I'm gonna come back up, brush my teeth, pack my toothbrush, and all the last minute things essentially, and that's it. It's hard, but actually I slept better than I was expecting. It took me a while to fall asleep, but then I did fall asleep, and then I woke up maybe twice in the night, and both times I didn't even yet register why. I just felt this huge amount of anxiety, but I could sort of have it and fall asleep, which I'm very grateful for. So yeah, I'm okay for now. Gonna have some breakfast. I don't know if I'll chat to you again before I go, but I'm sure I'll film stuff. So you'll see me very soon. Bye. Hello, I'm through security and it's about 2 hours before my flight, which is great. And I was able to change my seat. On my first flight I already had a window seat, but on the second flight at the time when I booked there was only aisle seats available, which is still okay, but I prefer a window seat. So I thought I'll just ask, and he was super friendly, he was so lovely, and he got me a window seat for the second flight as well. So I am delighted, because I need to try and do a lot of sleeping on both these flights, but especially the end of the second, because then I'm going into a full day of work. So, but now I'm just gonna head towards my gate and kill some time, I think. What fun. Hello, we've made it out of security. That took a while. My pencil case had to go through 3 times, and after the second and after the third she went through each individual pen, but I got to keep it, which is good, and she didn't throw anything away. And I've just found my gate, and I've now got 5 hours to kill, which is long, but I'll be fine. I need the bathroom, I need to fill up my water. That first flight was okay. Oh, maybe I lied about my gate. Maybe I'm wrong. The first flight was okay, long though, it felt long. I did sleep for a couple of hours, which is something. And now, actually, this flight is really nice, because if I can just stay awake the whole 5 hours that I'm here, until like, I think we'll have departure, and then I think they probably will feed us about an hour in, then I can stay awake all that time, and then hopefully I'll be really tired and sleep really well for the rest of the flight, which is what I want, because then I'm going to work. But yeah, we're here. We've done it. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, the ground staff were so friendly and they just looked so happy, which was nice to see. And the landing in was very weird. I don't know if it was foggy or if it was just the airport's far out from the city, but there were no lights until literally like 30 seconds before we actually landed. Okay, I found my gate now, and I'm just walking aimlessly, so I'm going to turn around, go to the bathroom, and sit down, maybe edit if I dare. I'm mostly worried about my laptop, like I dare. I just feel bad about my laptop making the noises that it does and I don't want it to be confiscated. Okay, I think that's the update. I will see you in a bit. Bye! Hello. I have a couple more things I want to share. I also just got bored, so I got up and walked around a bit. I've still got, I think, about 2 hours until we start boarding. So about 3 hours before the flight. I'm definitely feeling tired, but also that's a short enough time span that I'm not going to risk falling asleep. So we should be okay. And as I said, once I'm on the plane, I can sleep, which is great. The other thing I wanted to say was, immediately after I finished filming the last clip, I'd been wandering around a bit in a circle, and I turned around and walked through this very small corridor that I wasn't 100% sure I was allowed to walk through. And as I walked through it, a woman in like a security uniform sort of came up to me and like was waving this stick at me, or that's what it looked like. And I was like, oh, like, should I turn around? And she was like, no, no. And I couldn't quite understand what she was saying. In the end, I realised, I think I mentioned earlier that my pencil case went through the security machine 3 times. Turns out my ruler was left in the little box, and she wanted to come find me and bring it to me, which I thought was so sweet of her, and she like had a smile on her face, and I'm so glad, because like that ruler, it's not precious, but it's a very useful, convenient one, and I would be annoyed if I had left it here, so I'm very, very glad she did find me. The other thing I forgot to say earlier about the first flight is, oh my goodness, it was boiling on that plane. Initially I thought maybe it was just me, even though like I'm not dressed that warm. I didn't have any of these layers on. I've got the snow boots, but aside from that I'm dressed pretty reasonably. But I did have my head down and was like sleeping like this, so maybe I was like causing my own heat, I don't know. But I realised pretty quickly once I woke up that I don't think it was just me, because there was definitely an odour in the air that implied it wasn't just me. I was very sweaty too, and I don't know if it was necessarily my neighbours or like just in general, but yeah, it was not lovely. It did get a bit better once I woke up, but it was still pretty hot the whole flight. I drank a lot of water. I was feeling very and I did just cool down, which is why I put these layers on, but now I'm getting a bit warm again, so I may... Oh yeah, because I also had the headphones on the plane. That was the other thing. I thought maybe it was my fault, but no, I think it was just a very warm plane. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to share at this update. As I say, like, I'm just feeling a bit bored. There is internet for WhatsApp, which is great, because at least I can like let my family know that I'm here, but I can't download any pictures, I can't go on any social media, which I suppose like is a good thing, but I'm just feeling bored. I finished my first audiobook. I do still have 2 more downloaded, but I like to do stuff with my hands, and I've played a couple of games on my phone, and I've done a couple of like in real life Sudokus and word searches and whatnot. But I just feel like it's not quite satisfying the itch. I kind of wish I brought my knitting needles, but I've never brought knitting needles on a plane because I'm not 100% sure if they would consider it a weapon. But yeah, so I'm just like, maybe I'll just do another circle. One thing that is really interesting though, I think in the past few vlogs when I've been in Australia, I've mentioned that I have this like anxiety or lower self-confidence or whatever, or both. And that did dissipate as the weeks went on, and it definitely didn't feel as bad. But I could feel, I was sit here, I was listening to music that like put me in a good mood. There was a song like to which I did a dance, and then there was a song from a musical I went to see. So like I was thinking about things that were happening in London, and I just felt so good. Like just, I don't know, I really don't know how to explain it, but like leaving Australia and knowing that I'm going to be back in London, it really is good for me. So that's crazy, because like obviously I was very upset when I left Australia, and I am still upset about leaving my parents and my family, but clearly London really is the place for me. Anyway, I'm going to kill the next hour and a half wandering around and sitting again probably, and either listening to more music or to another audiobook, and then I'll board the plane and I'll film what I can. And yeah, we'll see how it is. Did I tell you? I think I did tell you. They moved my seat to a window seat because I asked. But with that, they also moved me forward by like 30 something seats. So that's amazing. Not that I usually mind, but it's nicer to be closer to the front. Anyway, I'm just rambling now because I'm bored, so I'll leave it here and I will see you guys later. I also don't know if I mentioned earlier, but this airport is definitely much busier than Guangzhou on the way in, but that's okay. I don't mind. We're doing it. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Bye! I've decided to go for like a proper walk. I was even going to try and track it on Strava, but unfortunately it's not recognizing where I am. But yeah, I'm just gonna walk. Okay, that was just a minute of walking, so I'm not going to film all of it, but I'm on a mission. I made it to the end of the terminal, and I started at the other end, I think. All the way down there somewhere. Yay! Now I'm going to go back. Oh, also, one thing I also forgot to mention is that I don't know how loud I was just speaking because I had my headphones on and now I've taken them off. But I've been sneezing loads. Initially, I thought it was someone on the plane, maybe had a pet, but it's continued into the airport, and I don't mind it too much. But it has made my nose run, which is annoying. So I've just picked up some more tissues from the bathroom, and I should have enough for the second flight. But it's just annoying, and I don't know what's causing it. Anyway, let's head back. Yay! We've made it. We stayed awake. Yay! Okay, I'm at the train station, and I think this is the only train I could get for the next half hour, and it should be arriving in like 8 minutes, which is amazing. I feel very gross. I feel like I smell. I feel very sweaty, but I've got my stuff and I'm heading home, and I should, if everything runs to time, should get home by 8, which is an hour earlier than I was expecting. So that would be amazing. But let's see, let's not hold out hope. We've got 3 transfers, I think, to make, so let's see. Or maybe only 2, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Hello, I am home after working for 6 hours. Not crazy, but still, it's, 20 to 8. But let me just catch you up on a couple of things, and then I'm gonna enjoy the evening with Wayne. Wayne's made some really good looking food. He's got some garlic bread, which I was thinking about this morning, but apparently didn't actually tell him to get. And then this spaghetti, like vegetarian, not quite bolognese.
It's not vegetarian.
Listen to how much he laughs. Anyway, it looks delicious. And then also some chips. So a very nice, heartwarming, yummy meal that I'm very excited. And I'm very curious about this dish because it's not bolognese, and Wayne's not made it before, and I've not made it before, but it looks really good. And it smells really good. So just quickly, there are 3 things I want to tell you about, and Wayne's listening.
Oh, me? No, the camera.
The camera. Don't be silly, I'm still talking.
Yeah, sometimes you talk to me.
Sometimes, often I talk to you. Anyway, so 3 things I want to share with you, and then I'll head off. But first of all, one thing I forgot to mention about the second flight. I don't feel like I spoke to you very much about the second flight. I was just like keen to get home. I didn't sleep as well as I wanted to, but I still slept like 5-ish hours and then had my head down for most of the rest of the flight as well, but just didn't sleep. But I was awake around like 3 or 4 in the morning British time. I didn't get back to sleep, which was concerning, but we'll get back to that. What I was actually going to say was that when we flew in, I tried to film it, but I don't think it captured it very well. Literally from the moment we got to the coast of England, there was cloud cover. And usually you dip below the clouds when you're landing, and usually you spend maybe like 30 seconds to 2 minutes in the clouds. This was, it genuinely felt, like, I think it was about 10 minutes, I don't know, it felt very, very long, and at one point we did dip below, but then there were still clouds below us and clouds above us, and it was just like we were in the clouds, I genuinely think, for about 10 minutes, and by the time we finally popped under the clouds, we were so incredibly close to the ground, and like, I don't know, a minute away from Gatwick. Like, it was crazy, and so very typical of what people think of Britain as, just very grey. But actually, coming home has been really lovely because it's a bit brighter and the sun hasn't set yet. So even though it is, you know, it was 7:30 when I left work, it doesn't feel like, I think that's really helped with my jet lag actually. Even though I don't feel tired at the moment, but I feel very like floaty. It really helped with the, like, at one point it was 5 o'clock and it was still like daylight outside. Obviously the clocks changed while I was away, but it's so lovely, I love it. Also, while I was walking home, I still got to see some blossom. I was really worried I would miss most of like proper spring here, but I still got to see some blossom, so that's made me happy, and some flowers bloom and stuff, and the trees, like, I just love it. Anyway, that was all the first thing I was gonna say, although actually I think the third point has been covered now as well. But the second thing I was gonna say was that when I did get home, I spoke to Wayne very briefly, and then went to try and sleep. As I've mentioned before, I'm not a napper, and I didn't think I'd be tired enough to nap. But I said to myself, I'm gonna try to sleep for 2 hours, and I felt like I really struggled to fall asleep, but then 1 hour in, my grandma called me, and I very clearly jolted awake, so I had obviously fallen asleep, and then again it took me some time to fall asleep again, but then I woke up again and I felt like I'd rested and actually wanted to stay in bed longer, but I forced myself to get up, because if I didn't, then that would be even harder on the jet lag, and I'm glad that I had a nap. And I guess the final thing I want to say is that I've been feeling really good. Obviously just being in London makes me happy. Also having freshly washed hair is always a win, especially after how gross I was coming off that plane. But the final thing, I like this jumper anyway, but also I bought some new boots while I was in Australia and I wore them for the first time today, and I undoubtedly have blisters and they hurt, but I do really like the way the boots look, and I also have new socks and I also like those, so I'm just gonna actually get Wayne to show you because he stood right there, and then I'll go. Just my feet. Yay! Get all the angles.
Yeah.
Bit of. I mean, they probably won't last very long, but I like them. Yay! And now I'm gonna go. I will see you later. Bye! Oh, also, I've just got into pajamas. Wayne has been so cute. Look at this. He bought these gorgeous flowers. He's so cute. And then he also bought me a massive thing of Tropicana. Ah, what a win. This is the reason to come home, really. Not that my parents don't look after me. I don't want them or anyone thinking that. But yay!